I'm Loretta Mae Davis. I've been running Loretta's Inn for 25 years. Birthdays are wonderful. Cakes, balloons, candles, happy songs, smiling faces. I've seen hundreds of birthday celebrations at this hotel. But one night's birthday surprise became the most chaotic and unforgettable moment in my history. I still can't help laughing when I tell this story, even though it happened years ago. It was a chilly Saturday night in late November. The hotel was cozy and warm, the fireplace in the lobby crackling softly. Outside, a light snow had just started to fall, covering the ground in a thin white blanket. Amanda had gone home for the night, and Maria was finishing her last rounds. Around 11 p.m., a group of people entered the lobby. 10 people tiptoed in, whispering and shushing each other constantly. They carried a giant 3-tiered chocolate cake, colorful helium balloons, confetti tubes, and a sparkly banner that read, "Happy Birthday, Brian." All of them were trembling with excitement, their breath visible in the cold night air. "Shh," said the group leader, a middle-aged woman. "We're throwing a surprise party for my son, room 202. He's sleeping. He has no idea." The man next to her, probably her husband, whispered, "Barbara, are you sure? The kid's in deep sleep. He might get scared." "Ted, he's 25, not a baby. And this surprise will be perfect." "Oh, how lovely," I said. "Can I help? Can you give us a spare key? We want to enter quietly for the surprise." Normally I don't give spare keys, but the woman showed the reservation. Barbara Mitchell, rooms 201 and 202. Family reservation. Everything looked legal. "Of course, here's the key. Have fun." The group quietly headed for the stairs. Balloons were swaying. The cake was carried in trembling hands. Everyone was whispering. It was going to be a perfect surprise. Or so we thought. 2 minutes later, a scream came from the second floor, but it wasn't a happy scream. It was a terror scream. And then, "Who are you? What are you doing in my room?" "Surprise. Happy birthday. Wait a minute. You're not Brian." "Who's Brian?" "I'm Robert Johnson. I'm calling the police." I ran. I climbed the stairs 2 at a time. Room 202's door was wide open. Inside was chaos. In the bed, in his pajamas, sat a man with eyes wide as saucers. Around him stood 10 people, hands in the air, faces in shock. The cake had fallen on the floor. Chocolate cream was spread all over the carpet. Balloons floated on the ceiling. Confetti was scattered everywhere, even in the man's hair. "What's going on here?" I shouted. "Ms. Loretta," said Barbara, the surprised mother. "This man is not my son." "Of course I'm not," yelled the man in bed. "I'm Robert Johnson. I'm on a business trip, and at midnight 10 people burst into my room yelling, 'Surprise!'" I tried to understand the situation. Barbara had entered room 202, but where was her son Brian? "Mrs. Barbara, which room is your son staying in?" 202, I made the reservation myself." "Are you sure? Let me check the system." I went downstairs, looked at the computer, and I saw the error. Barbara Mitchell, rooms 201 and 203. Robert Johnson, room 202. Her son Brian was not in 202. He was in 203, the next room, and Barbara had entered the wrong room. I ran upstairs. I explained the situation to Barbara. "Wrong room?" Barbara's face turned bright red. "But I said 202. "No, Mrs. Barbara, you said 203. I gave you the 202 key. There was a misunderstanding." Barbara leaned against the wall. "God, then who is this man?" Robert, the man in bed, was still in shock. "I'm Robert Johnson. I have a meeting tomorrow morning, and now my room has confetti, cake, strangers." "We're so sorry, Mr. Johnson," I said. "This is a misunderstanding. We'll clean up right away." Clean up? I almost had a heart attack. 10 people yelled surprise. I was sleeping. He was right. The man was genuinely frightened. His hands were still shaking. His face was shiny with sweat. His pajama buttons were misaligned. He must have tried to dress in panic. Barbara approached Robert. "Mr. Johnson, I'm truly sorry. We were going to surprise my son for his birthday. We entered the wrong room." Robert took a deep breath. "Your son is in the next room?" "Yes, in 203. "And it surprised me?" By mistake, yes. Robert thought for a moment. Then he started laughing. First softly, then uncontrollably. He was laughing with full-on belly laughs. This is the most absurd thing that's ever happened to me, he said, laughing. At midnight, 10 people burst into my room yelling, "Happy birthday, Brian," and I'm not even Brian. Barbara started laughing too. Then the others. Then me. The room filled with laughter. "Well," said Robert with a smile, "where's Brian? Let's do the real surprise." And so 11 people, including Robert, walked to room 203, this time the right room. Barbara slowly opened the door. Inside, a young man was sleeping, the real Brian. 1, 2, 3, surprise! Happy birthday, Brian! Brian jumped out of bed. His eyes went wide, but this time the right reaction, surprise and joy. "Mom, Dad, everyone, what are you doing here?" "Happy birthday, son." Barbara started crying from both happiness and embarrassment. Brian hugged his family. But then he noticed a stranger, Robert, in his pajamas, still with confetti in his hair. Who's this?" Robert extended his hand. "I'm Robert from next door. Your family accidentally surprised me. Now I've joined the party." Brian looked confused. "What?" Barbara told the story. Wrong room, wrong man, cake disaster, Robert screamed. Brian was dying of laughter. "Mom, you surprised the wrong man?" "Son, it was dark. Someone was in bed. I thought it was you." "I'm in 203, not 202. How did you mix up the number?" "I was excited, and the doors looked the same." Ted, Brian's father, shook his head. "You know your mother, Brian. When she gets excited, she forgets details." "But the room number isn't a detail, Ted," said Barbara. "I know that now." Everyone was laughing, even Robert. The man now felt like part of the family. "So what happened to the cake?" asked Brian. Silence. "The cake, is on the floor," said Barbara sadly. "In Robert's room. It fell over." Brian's face fell. "I don't have a cake." Marcus was coming up the stairs at that moment. He'd heard the noise and came to check. "What's going on here?" I explained the situation. Marcus smiled. Birthday cake? Wait, I have ingredients in the kitchen. I'll make a new cake in half an hour." "Really?" Brian's eyes sparkled. "Of course. No one goes without cake at Loretta's Inn. Chocolate or vanilla?" "Chocolate," said Brian excitedly. "Chocolate it is." Marcus ran to the kitchen, and Marcus really did it. At midnight in the kitchen, from scratch, a birthday cake, chocolate with cream and candles on top. At 1 a.m., everyone gathered in the lobby. Brian, his family, Robert, me, Marcus, Amanda, even Maria, who'd come to see what the noise was. We were all there. And the cake was in the center. The candles were lit. "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Brian, happy birthday to you." Brian blew out the candles. Applause. Laughter. The cake was cut into slices. Robert got the first slice as compensation for the wrong surprise. "This is the strangest but most unforgettable night of my life," said Robert while eating cake. "I'm going to tell this at my meeting tomorrow. No one will believe it." Barbara smiled. "Sorry, Robert, but at least you got cake." "And I made new friends." Robert raised his glass. "To Brian, and to wrong surprises, and to chefs who make cakes at midnight." Marcus smiled proudly. "Anytime." Everyone laughed and raised their glasses. The next morning, Robert stopped by as he was checking out. "Miss Loretta, this hotel is unique." "Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I hope it wasn't a bad memory." "Bad? This is the best story of my life. At midnight, 10 people burst into my room yelling, 'Happy birthday, Brian,' and now I'm friends with Brian's family." And that's exactly what happened. Robert stayed in touch with the Mitchell family. They became friends on social media. Every year he sends Brian a birthday message. He writes, "Happy wrong surprise anniversary." And 3 years later, Robert came to Loretta's Inn for his own son's birthday. This time they surprised the right room. But as a joke, first they entered the wrong room, an empty one, and yelled, "Surprise!" Then they moved to the real room. "You started a tradition, Ms. Loretta," said Robert, laughing. First wrong room, then right room, Maria gasped when she heard about the new tradition. They really do the wrong room first on purpose now? It's become their family joke, I explained with a smile. They say the birthday isn't complete without surprising the wrong room. Amanda shook her head in disbelief. Only at Loretta's Inn could a disaster turn into a beloved tradition. That's what makes this place special, I said. We don't just host guests, we create stories they'll tell forever. And that's how it goes, my friends. I've been doing this job for 25 years. I've seen hundreds of birthday celebrations. With surprises, without surprises, big ones, small ones, elaborate ones, simple ones. But a surprise to the wrong room? A stranger nearly having a heart attack at midnight? And then that stranger becoming a cherished family friend? That was definitely a first in my history and probably will be the last. Welcome to Loretta's Inn, my friends. We accept surprise birthday parties. We even encourage them with all our hearts. But I have one important request. Please check the room number twice. Check it 3 times. Write it on your hand if you have to. Because surprising the wrong room, well, that's when the real surprise is on you.